Alright, so I'm going to do a video on graphing linear equations in two variables using the slope-intercept form. Now, everybody who's ever gone through mathematics in high school has seen this at some point in time or another. Why it doesn't stick, I'm not 100% sure. But here's the deal. It's y equals mx plus b. And your m is the coefficient of x. It describes how many x's you really have, but that's not really what we're looking for right now. What we're really looking for is that our m is equal to the slope of the line. And the slope is the steepness of the line, and it's rise or run. And if you're given 2 points, you can use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that'll find out what the slope is. But here's the key. M is really just a number that describes how steep your slope is. So in this example here, our m is 2 over 3. It means for every unit, for every 3 units we go to the right, we're going to go up 2 units. So it's rise 2 over 3. Now you need to figure out where to start. So what we look at is we need some point to start at, and so that actually ends up being our b value. We say plus b. It's really the sign of b as well. And the y-intercept is 0b. And the reason why is when x equals 0, y equals 2/3 times 0 minus 4, you're going to get y equals 0 minus 4, or y equals -4 when x equals 0. And I think that has to be made very clear. When x equals 0, y equals -4. So that's where I'm going to start. Now, like I said, oops. Well, like I said before, that's where I'm going to start because that's where x equals 0. But this, the slope, is 2/3. So it's up to, I go up 2 values, and then over 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's my next point. Then I'd go up 2 again, and over 3 to, this would be where 6 is. And that's it. Now I'm going to do, oh my goodness. I'm going to do my best to actually draw a straight line. You really can't appreciate the agony I'm going through to, oh my goodness, to do this. But we'll see. Oh, I might have to just freehand it. Yikes. Alright, so it's certainly not the best. It's certainly not the best straight line I've ever drawn, and I'm making things worse. But that's okay. And the problem is I don't actually have a straight line function on this work pad, so for this program. So now I'm going to write y equals 2/3 x minus 4, because it's always good to label your line, and you should always use a straight edge and do the best you can. That's it. Like I said, I went up 2, and then over 3, and then that gave me this point, and then I went up 2 again, and then over 3, and that gave me that point. If I were to go down 2 and backwards 3, I should end up at that point, which would be correct. Alright, now I'm going to do one more example, and now I'm going to look at something like this. What if I had y equals -3x plus 2? Well, that's interesting. So it is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to do this in red. I'll do some nice red here. So I start my positive 2, because that's my b value. And then I take a look at my slope. Now my slope just says -3, but it's really -3 over 1. So I'm going to go down 3 and over 1. All right, so positive 2 over 2 there, and then down. And that gives me my next value. And once again, you should be using a straight edge. And then down 3 and over 1. And that gives me my next value. And it should be a straight line using your powers of imagination. But if you do this with me while you're using your own graph paper and a straight edge, that will become a straight line. And it'll look very nice, and you won't have such a horrible looking graph. Anyway, so y equals -3x plus 2. You'll notice I went down 3 over 1. 3 over 1. There is something else that's worth mentioning while I have you here. Because the slope is down 3 and over 1, if you want to find the distance between this point and this point, it's really, well, down 3 is -3 squared, plus 1 squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared, right? So it's going to be 9 plus 1 equals 8 squared. So the distance would be from here to here, radical 10. Anyway, just wanted to throw that in. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this. There's one other video, and it's on graphing linear equations in two variables, but using standard form.